Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you're an Atlanta Falcons supporter, you know that this offseason has already been packed with rumors, bold predictions, and strategic moves. But nothing has shaken the core of Falcons Nation quite like the recent news of Khalil Mack potentially joining the team. That's right, the Falcons are eyeing a blockbuster move in free agency, and it could change everything about their defensive line and their entire approach heading into the 2025 season. So, let's dive deep into what this means for the Falcons, the NFC South, and the NFL landscape as a whole. First, let's set the scene. The Atlanta Falcons, for a long time now, have been trying to rebuild their defense into a formidable, pressure-generating unit that can finally complement their dynamic offense, led by the likes of Desmond Ridder and the emerging stars on offense. But if you've been paying attention to their recent seasons, you know that the defense has struggled to deliver consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Last year, the Falcons ranked 31st in the league in sacks, managing only 31 total. That's a stark number, especially considering how much they've invested in their roster and how much they've tried to improve their pass rush. And that's where Khalil Mack comes into the picture. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Mack is no longer in his prime, right? He's been around for a while now, and yes, his best years with the Chicago Bears and then with the Chargers showed us what he could do. For 3 straight seasons, he's been named to the Pro Bowl, and even last year, he was still one of the league's most disruptive pass rushers. But here's the thing, even if Mack is on the downward slope of his career, he's still an elite edge rusher, a guy who can change the game single-handedly with his ability to pressure the quarterback, set the edge, and create chaos for opposing offenses. The potential signing of Mack would be, without a doubt, a game-changer for Atlanta. It would give them a veteran presence, a proven disruptor who can immediately upgrade their pass rush. Think about it, adding a player like Mack, who's been named to the Pro Bowl in each of the last 3 seasons, would send a message across the league that the Falcons are serious about contending. It's not just about short-term success, it's about establishing a culture of dominance on defense. The Falcons have some young talent on the defensive line, but they need that veteran star to push everyone to another level. Now, the financial aspect is always a tricky part. Mack is not a cheap commodity, and Atlanta's salary cap situation isn't unlimited. They'll need to get creative, find ways to free up some cap space, perhaps restructure contracts, or make strategic cuts elsewhere. But if there's one thing we know about the Falcons' front office, it's that they're willing to make bold moves when the opportunity presents itself. And signing a player of Mack's caliber, especially someone who's been recognized as one of the top pass rushers in the league, would be a bold move that signals their intent to compete now. It's also worth noting that this move fits perfectly into Atlanta's broader strategy. Last offseason, they made some key draft picks, and this year, they're expected to be aggressive in free agency. The draft class this year is loaded with defensive line prospects, giving the Falcons multiple avenues to improve their pass rush. But adding a seasoned veteran like Mack would immediately elevate the entire unit. It's about balancing youth and experience, and Mack's leadership could be instrumental for the Falcons' young defensive players, helping them develop faster and more effectively. Some of you might wonder, why would Mack choose Atlanta? Well, that's a good question. The Falcons aren't exactly known for throwing around big contracts, but this is a team on the rise, a team with a passionate fan base, a team that's been quietly building for a few years. Plus, Atlanta is an attractive city and a team with a clear vision of competing in the NFC South and beyond. Mack, who's been named to the Pro Bowl 3 times and has a reputation as a fierce competitor, might see the Falcons as a perfect landing spot for a final chapter where he can still make a significant impact. Another point to consider is how this signing could shift the balance of power in the NFC South. The division has been somewhat up for grabs in recent years, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all vying for supremacy. Adding a player like Mack not only boosts the Falcons' chances of making a playoff push, but also signals to their division rivals that Atlanta is serious about reasserting itself as a top contender. If Mack joins the Falcons and they pair him with emerging talents and a solid defensive scheme, they could become a real headache for any quarterback facing them. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and there are always risks involved. Overpaying for an aging player can backfire, especially if injuries start to pile up or if his performance dips below expectations. But in this case, the potential reward outweighs the risk, especially considering the Falcons' need for a proven pass rusher. As long as they manage their cap wisely and don't overextend, this could be one of those moves that pays dividends for years to come. Looking ahead, Falcons fans should be excited about the possibilities. A defense led by a veteran like Mack can change the entire dynamic of the team. It can energize the locker room, boost the confidence of the young players, and make life tougher for opposing offenses. The NFC South is already a competitive division, and adding a player of Mack's caliber could be the difference between just competing and truly contending for a division title and even a deep playoff run. And let's remember, this isn't just about one player. It's about the message it sends to the rest of the league, that the Falcons are not only rebuilding, but also going all in to become serious contenders. The NFC South is a division that's seen its share of highs and lows, but with moves like these, Atlanta is positioning itself as a team to watch in the coming seasons. They're stacking the deck with talent, experience, and a clear vision of success. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So in summary, the potential signing of Khalil Mack is more than just a headline. It's a strategic move that could define the Falcons' next chapter. It symbolizes their intent to compete right now, to bolster their defense with one of the league's most talented pass rushers, and to send a message to the rest of the NFC South and the league as a whole. The signing might come with questions about price and longevity, but the upside is undeniable. Mack's presence could elevate the entire team, ignite the fan base, and set the stage for what could be a very exciting season ahead. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Khalil Mack is the missing piece for the Falcons? Are you excited about the potential impact he could have on the team's defense and their playoff chances? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching, and let's keep the Falcons' spirit alive.